evening, ladies and gentlemen. Kirk Meadows here. I'm a comedian. I'm in North Miami, Florida. I love how the camera changes from black and white. Oh, wow, it's beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, good evening once again. Let's start over. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Kirk Meadows here. I'm a comedian. I'm in North Miami, Florida. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome. Thank you for stopping by. I want to thank you guys. I have 394 subscribers. Last week I had 387. So my prediction next week I'll hit 400 subscribers, which is amazing for me because I didn't, I don't really get out there and vlog like, hey, everybody, I'm over at Arby's. I don't go to Starbucks or anything like that. So that's good. Okay, couple of things happened. I broke my camera. Christmas is coming, everybody. Wink, wink. No, I broke my camera, so I'm recording on my laptop. So I broke my camera. This is my camera right here. Okay, if you notice now, I'm gonna press this button, and my fingernails are dirty. What is that? Okay. I'm going to press this button right here, and you see it doesn't come right out. See how it just opens a little bit and closes? So I don't know what I'm going to do, so I have to record on my, this happened like last week, and I was going to record, but I was going to get another camera there, so I'll wait, I'll look at videos and figure out which one I want. Because like a couple of weeks ago I was going like, why are there so many videos about cameras, and then who needs all these videos? Now I need to look up these videos. So my camera's broken and I'm using my laptop. That's why I didn't record earlier this week. But anyway, 400 subscribers, that's a lot to me. And my niece discovered me on YouTube. My niece, she's like 10 years old, and she discovered me, and like I'm going through all my, how you go through notifications. You don't really look at the pictures, you just go through, and people saying, hey, I like your comedy. Hey, I don't feel the same way about Donald Trump. Hey, that's a great thing you did. I like that video. I reach down and reach the third one. It says, can me and mommy come over for Christmas? Who is this? Come over to my house for Christmas? What? Oh, but it was my niece. She wanted to come over for Christmas. Aww. So we'll see what happens. But Christmas night, I'm hosting or co-hosting a party, so that's really cool. And today I was challenged. This is my second challenge on tag challenge. The first tag challenge was the goofy trick, and the second challenge is the comedian's tag. It's a comedian tag. So questions asked comedians, and you're supposed to answer them. It's hot in here. Question tags was asked comedians. Okay, here we go. I'm looking over here because I have it over there. Who's your favorite comedian? That's tricky. My favorite comedian is, I like Jerry Seinfeld. I like comedians for different reasons. I know I'm complicating this. Well, let me explain to you the reasons that I love. No, I like Jerry Seinfeld because I just like his commitment to his ideas. You have to have a concept and you commit to it like you're a lawyer defending a client. You have to come up with all the evidence to prove your joke is valid. And that's what he does. He's very good. He's very good at that. And Wendy Liebman is my favorite comic. She's a Jewish stand-up comic from New York. We think similar. I mean, she's on another level. I mean, I really like her stuff. She's on another level. But Wendy Liebman, y'all should look. If you don't know who she is, look her up. She's been on Letterman numerous times, and I like her because she's a woman. She's like a female comedian, and she doesn't have that aggressive She doesn't have the aggressiveness. She's very ladylike, and she doesn't have that like aggressiveness to her. She just have a really wonderful, and she's brilliant. She's brilliant. You have to watch her. If you don't know her, you gotta learn. Find out. She's all over YouTube. She's famous. Check her out. Okay, so that's who are you most like as a comic? Jeez, I don't know. Because every place you go, that's what the clubs ask you. Who are you more like? Or and then you don't want to be like anybody else. You don't want people to go like, you think you like Seinfeld, huh? Oh, you think like go up there and do like Seinfeld. You know, and that you don't want that pressure. You don't want to be like just cleaning off my face with a towel. You don't want that pressure. So, I think I guess I'm like a one-liner short story type comedian. I don't. That's it. One-liner story type comedian. How was your first show? My first show was great. It was only 3 minutes long. It was done in. I did my first show in a small city between Fort Lauderdale and West Palm Beach. Because I didn't want to go anywhere where people might know me. So I went to this place called Key West Grill. And I did like 3 minutes and it went great. I mean, I drove 55. I drove 55 miles to do 3 minutes of comedy. I had to wait like 2 hours and then drove back 55 miles. But I was so happy with my set. And I go like, I'm going to be famous real fast. And that was 8 years ago. 9 years ago, maybe. Anyway, so that was... So my first show was great. Do you have any pre-ritual? A lot of comics have pre-rituals before they go on stage. They do pre-rituals, like pre-show rituals, like they do an exercise or stretch out or like they listen to certain music. I don't really do that so much. I just kind of I try to go to the bathroom, look in the mirror or something. I just need a mirror to look at myself and make sure there's nothing on my teeth or anything like that. But then generally and then I'm on stage. My pre-ritual is try to be ready. To work. I'm sure everybody does that. The smallest audience you ever performed for. The smallest audience I ever performed for was 3 people. But when you're performing for 3 people, you can't call it a show. You have to just go there and just be personable, and you have to make fun of the situation. I have a few jokes I do when that happens. I go like, we have additional parking in the rear. Aren't you glad you made reservations? Crank up that second ice machine. Because everybody's depressed. The owner's depressed because there's no one in the club. The waitresses are depressed. They're not making money. The audience is disappointed because they're the only ones there. So it's kind of awkward. So you just have to kind of make fun of that situation and go like, just be funny. Try to be as funny as you can and try to relate to them. Find a name where they go and make them feel like, hey, this is a special event for you. You know what I mean? Yeah. It works sometimes, it doesn't work, but you try your best. Big crowds like this make me nervous. That's another joke. What are your goals in comedy? It's so pretentious to say, well, I like to be famous. Please make me famous. I don't know. In order to be famous or even take that famous chance, you have to move to California or New York, and you have to grind. You have to just have this. There's a lot you have to have that I don't have right now because I'm not really committed enough to get up and leave my job that's paying me well to go into California and struggle in the clubs. And it's expensive too. You move, it's expensive, so you don't want to be spending money. So I feel like I want to stay a little long and get better. I want to get as good as I can here because there's no, you're not going to get that much stage time. Here in Miami, you get a lot of stage time. In California or New York, you wouldn't get that much stage time. And there's 100 million trillion comics in California. So you got to go and you got to be ready. So, I have to grow a few, and then I'll go eventually, but right now. What does your family think about you doing comedy? I was always funny. I was always funny in the family. I mean, we get together. All of us are funny pretty much, We just get together and we just have a good time, and they always thought I was funny, and I don't think they were never surprised that I decided to do comedy. And they're kind of weird about it. When I went to, my brother lives in Naples, Florida, and I went to Punta Gorda. I was doing a show in Punta Gorda, so my brother and my sister live in Naples. So I picked them up. I'm saying, hey, come on. I'm going to take you all to the show. So I picked them up, took them to the show, put them up front, gave them food, feed them. I had the worst show I've ever had in comedy. And they were like, yeah, so what do you think? I didn't even ask. The drive home was very quiet. That's all I'm saying. Are you sure this is what you want to do? But that situation was, because we were supposed to do the show on the inside, and we eventually did it on the outside, and there was other circumstances that made the show didn't work, so it wasn't just me. And there was other comics who bombed too, so not that makes it okay, but that's all the questions, I guess. But I like doing comedy, and this is what I do. I like it. So that's my tag. Okay. So thanks for listening, and thanks for 400 in advance. Thanks for 400 subscribers. 400 subscribers. So thanks a lot. And you'll remember something. You're the reason that I vlog. Thank you and good night.